this video, we're going to learn about slope patterns. Slope patterns in corridors are quite essential. You can also use them in gradings. Slope patterns simply show the slope. They are slope indicators. For example, if I want to show the drainage is sloping downwards here on this side and sloping upwards to this side, I will use slope patterns. So for this corridor, we have a drainage on the right and on the left. We have a drainage on both sides, and it will look better if we used slope patterns. So I'll go ahead and start. But before we do that, for you to add slope patterns, you need to know where you're going to add them. So when a corridor is created, there are some feature lines that are created, and slope patterns are created in between feature lines. So for example, in this corridor, there are several feature lines that are created from this chord set style. So if I hover over these lines, you can see, for example, that is one feature line, and it's formed from the ditch out point code. If you look at that snapshot that shows up when I hover over the feature line, you see the point code down there called ditch out. If I go to the other feature line, it is formed from the point codes called ditch in. So this corridor was formed from this cross section, and as you can see, the drainage is formed from this subassembly. This subassembly, if I hover over this, is called basic side slope cut ditch. And if you can go to that subassembly and see how it looks like. So let me put off the tool space. And I go to so under basic up here, that's where we get the basics side slope cut ditch. And if I right click on it and I go to help, I get more information about this subassembly. And in cut condition, it usually forms a drainage. And we can look at the point codes. Let's look at the point codes that are forming those feature lines. As you can see here, there are some point codes that are forming the feature lines. P1, for example, is the hinge. And then there's point code 2 is a ditch in, ditch out, point code 3, and then another hinge at point 4, point 5. So what we are going to do in this video is that we are going to create point codes or slope patterns on these slopes. We'll do them on these two slopes, L1 and L3, and I'll show you how to do it. So back to the corridor. If you click on the corridor and right click and go to corridor parameters, you'll see an information tab, and then all the way to the end you'll find slope patterns tab, and this is where you can add slope patterns. So if you click on this command, you're prompted to select first corridor feature line. As I've explained, these lines are the feature lines, and they're formed by creating lines in between point codes. So I'll pick this feature line here, and then the ditch out, the ditch in, I mean. And here I can see the first feature line I have picked. If I want to see it, I can hover over that, and this is the second feature line I have picked. And our start station is the beginning all the way to the end. Our baseline is alignment 3, and this is the slope pattern style. So there are different kinds of slope pattern styles. Here we can see there are 3, and let's pick the basic and let's see how it looks like. So I pick the basic. I can go to the edit tab here, and I go to the layout tab, and this basic style has 2 components. component 1 and component 2. So if we try to edit here on the parameters, we'll get to know what these components are all about. For example, the pattern start is at the top of the slope. So, for example, this one is from the top of the slope. If you want it from the bottom of the slope, you can change that. But we want this at the top of the slope. And then the length type is percent of length. We'll see what that is. And if I change this to 50%, for example, we'll see the component on this side that is changing. So we have two components, most likely this and this. So let's change this to 50 and enter. And as you can see, this component has changed from 25 to 50. So meaning component 1 is this component. So if you want it back to 25 at its default, we take it back to 25. And the symbol type is a triangle. You can see the triangle up here. If you want it to be filled triangle, if you apply, it doesn't change, but let's see whether if this changes. As you can see, it changes to tapered lines, this component. So let's keep it at triangle. So let's look at the second component. If you look at the second component, it's still starting from the top of the slope, and the percentage length, it's the entire length is 100%. And here also we can see if we can change the type, the symbol type. Let's take it back to tapered lines. So we are not changing the style. So if everything is okay, you just click OK. Click OK here and apply to go see how the slope pattern appears. As you can see now, in between this feature line, which is the daylight sub, and the ditch in, we have a slope pattern. And if you want the frequency of these lines to be more, you can change that. So let's go back to this corridor. Let's go to corridor properties and then go back to the slope patterns tab. Here we want to change this basic style. I edit it from here. I go to the layout tab. I want to change the proximity of these two lines. So let's see if we change this, that changes. So let's put it to 100%. So that becomes even larger. So let's put this to 50. And you see the frequency now becomes more. So let's apply to see how our corridor has changed. Hasn't changed by much, so let's see what we can change. Again, corridor properties, go to the basic style, click on the edit button. Let's change let's go to component 2. Let's change the minimum distance. So the minimum distance, let's change it to 3. Let's apply this. And I think now the slope pattern has changed. The frequency has changed. Let's go again and see whether we can add another slope pattern on this side. So this is where the ditch is going down, and then this is the base of the ditch, and then it goes up. So let's add a slope pattern on this side. So I click on the corridor, go to corridor properties. I add another slope pattern, and I'm prompted to select first corridor feature line, which I select this, and I'm prompted to select the second corridor feature line. I select that, and if I want to put basic, I can apply. Let's see how it looks like. So as you can see now, you can see how your ditch is sloping. Remember, these tapers or these symbols, the triangles and the tapered lines, are at the top of the slope. And we know this is the top of the slope. We are sloping downwards, and also on this side we're sloping downwards. So let's just look at a different slope type to see how it appears. So I select on the corridor, I go to corridor properties. Here at the slope pattern, let me change this to a different pattern. So fixed length, let's see how this appears. This looks a bit different. If this suits you, you can use this as your slope pattern. And remember, you can go edit it to your own preference. So let's add slope patterns again on this other side. So I click on the corridor, I right click and go to corridor properties. Here I can add slope patterns. Let me start from this edge all the way to the ditch in. Let me assign it the fixed length. I apply, and there you go. You see the slope pattern looking very appealing. Then let me add the final one. Click on the corridor. I right click and go to corridor properties. Navigate to the slope patterns tab. I add the final slope pattern, and I click on this feature line and this other feature line, and then I select the basic, and there you go. You have your slope patterns, and your corridor now looks very good. So if you like this and other videos, remember to like and to subscribe to the channel. Also, do not forget to share.